We hear a lot about resiliency, to be resilient, to develop resiliency, to raise resilient kids.
So it's a topic that we've heard a lot about, but it's not something that we can do alone. Research proves that we can only build resiliency as a group. So how do you do that with your family, for example? KSL parenting contributor Heather Johnson, you got the answer here.
Yeah.
So why is it that we need groups or families to develop resiliency?
Yeah, because this is interesting, right? But we develop resiliency through interaction. That's actually how resiliency is built. And so when we have a group, or in this case, the very best group, which is a family, families can create a scaffolding where it's safe to help us navigate or withstand the stress and the strain that we have to build the resilience for. We're finding that with families, there's a very safe place to express our fears or our worries and concerns. Groups provide a practical situation where they can help, whether it's time or money or energy or resources. And plus, it's in groups that we see modeled what resiliency actually looks like. Our kids, our young adults, they don't know what resiliency looks like unless they've got a group around them that can model that for them.
It's so true. Like, I can remember my dad, who lost his job years and years ago, and then had to get a new job, retrain himself. He was working 18-hour days. And I remember just seeing him struggle going through that retraining and reinventing himself. That was resiliency on display.
Absolutely, and being able to watch how he handled it. I am sure, I mean, even now, you refer back to watching how he handled those things when something is challenging and you need resiliency as a grown adult. So we need groups in order to develop this. We think it's this singular thing that we have to do as individuals. Well, yes, I have to execute it, but I learn it by being surrounded by a group, and a family is the very best group to teach this.
So you've got your family as that safe group, and you say it's all about open communication.
It's where we want to start. And remember, these things to build resiliency are having a resilient family. These are things we can be doing every single day, right? So we're going to start with being open with our communication. It means we've got to create a very safe place for our kids to say anything and everything that they need to say. It means that when they express emotions, we're not solving the problem. We're not dismissing it. We're simply just empathizing and hearing it. We also want to make sure that we have a really positive life view in our homes, that the challenges, our view of the world, that it is positive. Remember, resiliency is an ability to bounce back. It's ability to take what's really hard, like losing a job, and know what to do about it and with it. And so we need to have a really positive view on life also. It means out of our mouths as parents, we need to be positive about those things.
So having that optimism is a big factor.
It's a big deal. Yep. We also want to make sure that there's this collective confidence that our family is continuing to exhibit. This means that our perception of our family's ability to accomplish or to do something hard or easy is high. It's efficacy. It's our family saying that together we can do really hard things. You know, I remember in my family within a 3-week span, we lost 3 people really close to us that passed away. One of them being my grandfather. And to look at that and watch how our family could tackle it. Alone at 17, I couldn't have done that. But together as a family, we knew we could. That's that collective confidence. We need that.
What happens if we do decide we don't need the outside help, like we're internalizing this and we're going to battle this alone?
As a kid, as an individual?
As a kid, as a young child.
If you have a kid who's deciding to do this all alone, you're going to work to create a really safe space so that eventually they decide to step into it and give it a shot, right? Create a very safe space. And another way we can do this to create a safe spot is to be really resourceful, to make sure that we're not embarrassed as a family when something is hard, when a job is lost, when we lose someone we love. We want to make sure that we show our kids that it is safe and not embarrassing to have a challenge or to have something difficult happen, that they can handle that. It's a huge benefit. We can also solve problems together as a family, and this shows our kids how to be resourceful. You know, when we solve problems, it means that we're switching roles a little bit. We're listening to one another. We're communicating. We have a positive we're doing all of those when we solve problems. So it's another really great way that we can create an environment where if there is a child who's a little quieter or shut down, we can make it really safe for them to jump in and do these things.
And finally, you say being interconnected is a big part of that as well. What does that look like?
That looks like relying on one another. Right? Do I know that I can go to members of my family when something is hard? Are they going to have my back? Now, a great way to do this is to help your kids understand that they have each other's back, right? This is knowing that you can have 2 kids at the same school and one's getting picked on and the other one steps right up to say, hey, don't mess with my brother.
I can do it, but you can't.
It's exactly
Right?
right. It's that type of feeling that we can rely on one another. And again, look at what this does if we're executing these things every day. If it's safe to say what we feel, if we're solving problems together, if we can rely on one another, if we know that in our home we will look for the positive together, that together we're greater than we are as individuals, that builds resilience. And a family does that. Then we can go out as individuals and execute it when we need to.
Man, this is so empowering just to work together as a unit. That just creates more closeness. Heather, thanks so much. We appreciate all your insight as always.